night worker at a hospital, phone call from the other side. So this actually happened to a coworker of mine. But it's by far the creepiest thing I've ever been semi-involved with in my entire life, and I've been waiting for the perfect moment, time to share. This was a few years ago now, but I work in a hospital, and there are privacy laws, so I just wanted to give it some time to be safe. So I had this co-worker, we'll call him Jack for the sake of this story, who I trained and worked with quite a lot. One day I came to work, I actually think it might have been around the holidays, and he told me that he'd had a phone call that really creeped him out. We work in a call center, transferring patient and employee calls. He said that a patient had called in the early hours of the morning, wanting to speak with the nurse in charge. As is protocol, Jack took the patient's name, doctor's name, and phone number. He then told the patient the nurse would call him back ASAP. The patient asked her to hurry, sounding in great distress according to Jack, and insisted he was having cardiac arrest. We aren't allowed to give medical advice of any kind, but we are allowed to encourage patients in distress to call 911 or go to the ER. So Jack did so, but the guy insisted on waiting for the nurse. Jack put the guy on hold, not wanting to make him wait, and called the nurse. While waiting for her to call back, the line dropped. When the nurse called back, Jack gave her the info and moved on with his night. The nurse shortly called back and asked Jack to repeat the phone number. He did, and she said that it must be wrong as she was getting one of those "this number isn't assigned to anyone" messages when she tried to call. She decided to look up the patient's file to confirm the number herself. Only problem is, the patient died over 20 years ago. The phone number, by the way, was correct, and Jack had checked it with caller display while on the call, so it was definitely the number the patient called from, despite the number being out of service, and the patient being dead for over 20 years. To this day, we still don't know what happened or how that was possible.